Last night around 2 a.m. I was lying in bed, wide awake. I couldn't sleep. Nothing unusual. I've always been the kind of person who stays up scrolling through Reddit or watching random YouTube videos until my eyes burn. The house was quiet, the kind of quiet that feels heavy, like the walls themselves are holding their breath. The only light in my room came from my phone screen. Everything else was swallowed by that dim blue glow. That's when I heard it. At first I thought it was my ears ringing, or maybe some faint static from my laptop charger. But the longer I listened, the more certain I became. It was a hum. Low, human, drawn out. Not random noise, not machinery. Someone was humming a tune, like they were keeping themselves company. And it was coming from downstairs. My heart started racing immediately. Both of my roommates were gone for the weekend. One was visiting family, the other at her boyfriend's. I was alone in the house, or at least I thought I was. I lay completely still, straining my ears. The hum went on for about 30 seconds. The tune didn't match anything I recognized. It wasn't cheerful or sad. It was just steady, almost hypnotic, like someone lost in thought. Then it stopped. And just like that, the silence came crashing back. I tried to shake it off. Old houses make sounds, right? Pipes groan, fridges buzz, wood shifts. I convinced myself it had to be something like that, but the more I thought about it, the more wrong it felt. Pipes don't carry a melody. Refrigerators don't hum in tune. I pulled the blanket tighter around me, put my phone down, and tried to close my eyes. And that's when it started again. This time, it was louder, clearer, a slow, deliberate lullaby. Each note stretched just enough to make my skin crawl. Someone was humming. I grabbed my phone again, thumb hovering over the flashlight button. I didn't want to move, but I couldn't just lie there either. I finally worked up the courage, swung my legs off the bed, and crept toward the door. The humming stopped as soon as I stepped into the hallway. The silence was even worse than the sound. I took each step carefully, the wood groaning under my feet no matter how light I tried to tread. By the time I reached the top of the stairs, I could see the faint glow of the streetlight through the kitchen window below. Everything looked normal. I turned on my flashlight and went down. The living room, empty. The kitchen, empty. The back door, locked. Windows, all shut tight. Nothing. No one. I checked every corner, every shadow. The hum was gone, replaced with the hum of my own pulse in my ears. I finally let out a shaky breath, laughing at myself under my breath. Maybe it was in my head. Maybe I was more tired than I realized. I went back upstairs trying to convince myself I was being paranoid. But as soon as I stepped into my room, I froze. Something was different. On my desk, right next to my laptop, sat my headphones. Neatly coiled, the cord tucked perfectly around them like they'd just been placed there with care. Except, I hadn't touched those headphones in days. They'd been in my backpack. I was sure of it. I'm the kind of person who leaves my stuff wherever I last used it, but I remembered tossing them into my bag after work earlier that week. Why would I take them out? Why would I coil them so neatly? I just stood there staring at them, my flashlight trembling slightly in my hand. I didn't touch them. I didn't touch anything. I shut my bedroom door, locked it, and left the lights on. I didn't hear the humming again. Not last night. Not yet. But this morning, when I woke up, I noticed something else. My headphones weren't on the desk anymore. They were back in my backpack. Exactly where I thought I'd left them in the first place. So now I don't know what's worse, that I'm imagining things, or that something in this house is moving my stuff around. Either way, if I hear that humming again, I don't think I'll be sticking around to listen.